Hello, it's Kevin here. Time for a video, this time for OET, a letter, review, check, correction, etc. So first things first, fair use, teaching purposes, disclaimer, etc. blah blah blah. Got a letter here, I'm going to be talking about that. Make sure I've got the changes on. Yep, I've got the criteria here. So it's been a while since I made a video for OET. It must be a month or so now. I was getting new members, so if you haven't seen before, if you're watching this on YouTube, I've got a channel on Telegram called, as you can maybe see wherever I'm pointing, OET right now. And this is my group on Telegram. I used to have one a long time ago, and people would send me a letter for correction, comment, etc. And I started it back up a few weeks, well, I don't know, a couple of months ago now, but nobody was posting any letters, so I didn't have anything to review, no content for my channel. Now I have another one for IELTS 9 Pro, and I post a task there every week, and I make videos on that. But for OET, I say it's been a while. So we've got the criteria, I've got a letter. Now, I'm not going to look at the case notes to this particular letter, and I'll tell you why. So if you think about it, if you were really writing a letter, and it's usually 8-9 times out of 10 a referral, it could be a discharge or a transfer, the letter that you write is going to be the only source of information the intended recipient, reader, examiner is going to have. Obviously the examiner will have the case notes because you have to include certain medical information, etc. But for the most part, if you think about it, the reader should be able to work out the purpose. The content should be sufficient, no relevant information, concise, genre, style, layout, etc. Everything should be clear to the reader what the letter's about and what you want them to do and why. So that's why I don't look at the case notes. I just read and I should do so here. I'm going to read the letter in its entirety, line by line, as if it were an actual letter to me. And everything must be clear. I shouldn't have to be scratching my head at any point, asking questions, who, where, why, what, how. If I do, then it's not worked. That's one of the key things. Now, I often say what you should do if you're practicing at home is if you write a letter, then if you leave it for an hour or two, come back to it without the case notes and reread it as if it were fresh and you were the intended recipient. And then, if everything's clear and you don't have to ask any questions of yourself, then the letter's a good one. I mean, grammar and other things aside, but that's essentially it. It's about effective, clear communication. So for example, right, if we take a look here, if we scroll down here, right, let me get my pencil and I'll show you what I mean. So purpose comes at first, right? Helps really get a quick and precise sense of what is asked. Okay? Due to time constraints, people want to understand the purpose quickly, efficiently. Okay? Purpose immediately identifiable. Then we've got the content. Everything that I need to do my job, is it accurate? Okay? What do I know about the case? What do I need to know to continue care? If I don't need to know it to continue care, you don't tell me. That's in part what the conciseness part is, yeah? It says, is there any information that could be left out? Conciseness and clarity. Is it clear? Unnecessary information. So, you know, like in the first one here, the content, it says what they need to know to continue care, and what don't they know, anything that is not going to affect how I would care for the patient, don't include it. It's just that simple. Pretty straightforward. So then you've got the genre, the style, the register tone. No judgmental language, clinical, factual, etc. Organisation, now this is the one that a few people don't quite get right. Clear structure. How well the document is laid out. The paragraphing, appropriate, if there's one theme, a paragraph, etc. And finally, language, only to the extent, you'll see that phrase, that they facilitate or obstruct retrieval of information. So accuracy, okay, but main thing, does it interfere with comprehension or speed of reading? So the purpose, that's where we start, okay? So, is it immediately clear what this document is and what you want me to do? Then, everything that I need, nothing that I don't need, the language and tone that you use, and how is it structured? Then the language features, okay? So, let's take a look, close that. So, we've got, now I'll quickly have a look at the word count, because the word count is a recommendation, it's guidelines. It's not set in stone. So here we've got, let's have a look, 216, so that's okay. Because they don't count the address, they don't count the closing, because that's kind of fixed, alright? And that's fixed, yeah. So now, what I would do here, if you have it, and you should, put the DOB. I want to know how old this patient is. So that's the first thing. If you're using proper case notes, you should have a DOB. I want to know how old is this patient. Or you've put, if you know, let me just turn off Telegram. I'm getting some messages there. Okay, right. So, or you put name, age, occupation. Mrs. Tablin, a 38-year-old, blah, 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 or age 38 or whatever. If you've got the DOB, you can put it there. So, and you don't have to say this is a referral. It's obvious it is. You don't have to actually say this is a referral. You can use whichever verb. I'm writing to request your assessment. I'm writing to update you on the condition of your patient. I'm writing to discharge. You can use any of those verbs, but here you don't have to say I'm writing to refer. You simply say I'm writing to request your further assessment and management of this patient, blah, 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 blah. Quite a few ways that we could actually do this, in fact. There's a long history of type 1 diabetes with non-compliance to medications. So she's non-compliant to her meds. Your further management for strict glycemic. So, right, now you don't usually put this. Now first, why would it be highly appreciated? I keep seeing this particular phrase. I know what website, I know where it's from, and the examiner will too. You don't need that. You can put it in the closing, but why, and they have done, why would it be highly appreciated? Are they doing you a personal favour? Are they lending you money? I don't think so. So you could put, in view of the above, I would appreciate, that's where you usually put it, I would appreciate your blah blah blah, but you don't need to say the same thing twice, essentially, because look, further management, for a management, you don't need it twice. In fact, you don't need it here for the introduction. Just simply tell me. So, refer for what? You want me to manage her, to control her blood sugar level? So this is why that purpose said, that sounds better, quick, immediate. What do you want? Why am I reading this? I'm writing to request your management of, I'm writing to request your management of Mrs. Tabitha Tabelin's blood sugar levels due to her history of non-compliance. You could do that. One sentence. Oh, right, that's pretty clear, Straight to the point. That's the purpose, right? So, long case of non-compliance to meds. Okay. Mrs. Tabitha was diagnosed with diabetes 7 years ago and is non-compliant. So, she's non-compliant now. Has she always been? So, has been. Could we use present perfect? She has experienced multiple episodes of diabetic ketoacidosis in the past. On 28th, sorry, on 2nd of 4th, 2018, she was admitted again with diabetes. So you've got, there's lots of repetition here. I can see this. So let me see, right. So she was diagnosed 7 years ago, non-compliant. So is she non-compliant now? Has she recently become non-compliant? Has she always been? But because it says here, we've got present perfect. Has experience. So is it has been? Or are you using present simple to indicate that it's an ongoing condition? So this needs to be clarified. What is it exactly? Okay. Admitted again. Admitted where? Where was she admitted the first time? Well, if it's admission, it's usually to hospital. But admitted again, you haven't told me where she was admitted the first time. With a diagnosis of diabetic ketoacidosis. So, do we really need to say the same thing, essentially, once or twice? She has experience when there's a diabetic, including a recent admission. So you could do something like, she has experienced multiple episodes of diabetic ketoacidosis, including a recent admission on the 2nd of the 4th, 2018. So that's one sentence, not, repetition, 2 sentences. That could be one. Okay. Yeah, she could die. This, past. I was admitted again. She could do it like that. Now, I'm not going to rewrite all this. I haven't got time. But still, that'll just give you some idea. So you could do it in that way, all right? And was admitted again with another episode, yeah? So that eliminates the second repetition. Okay, all right. Her blood glucose levels were, and she was managed with intravenous fluids and insulin. She was discharged, prescribed, and so on. Okay, and today's visit, Ms. Tabitha reported that she's doing well since discharge. Okay, reported that she's doing well. Okay, but she is still non-compliant. To, or with, the insulin regime, as well as not following the recommended diet. So we don't need to have 2 sentences. This is all part of the same thing, yeah? She's doing well, but how is she doing well if she's not following the regimen nor the diet? So what does that mean? So she feels that she's doing well, but her levels are not good. So again, it's like, what is going on here? So that was just no compliant regime, as well as not following the recommended diet. You could do it like that. Again, so we can get rid of another pronoun, she, because we've got she. We don't need all these pronouns, as well as not following the recommended diet. She was made aware about the complications of untreated diabetes, and again, short sentence, join it up. And further management of her condition was discussed. You can do it like that. So we're not using diabetes, we're not repeating ourselves. Her condition, we know what you're talking about. Measured and different modalities. Does that mean means or methods? Was discussed. Now, why is it important to mention here? Why not say, please note? Maybe it's important, maybe not. I just say, please note, history of essential hypertension and as a BMI of. View the above, I would appreciate your further management for further management for. So in view of the above, I would appreciate your management, strict glycemic control, and possible insulin pump for this patient, whatever patient's name is. Okay, so we're making it more concise, a bit shorter, easier to read. If you need any further information, feel free to contact me. Okay. So this isn't bad, but we need to, one, get the age, get the DOB in, right? So I want to know this, I want to at least know the age of the patient. Okay. If there's a history, you could put that. Now, I don't know why, because we could grab this, right? So secondary input. Can I put that there? Secondary input. Can I put that there? Okay. So grouping grouping like information, right? You could put that there. So that's like a history, like a paragraph there. Yeah. So that makes more sense than having some history here and then some more history down here. Group like information. So get the DOB, right? Get the purpose. What do you want? I'm writing to request your management of blah 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 blah. All right. So I will put that. Your blah 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 of. Okay. Yeah. Get that purpose clear. Okay. History paragraph 2. Diagnosed, multiple episodes in the past, admitted again, hypertension, and has a BMI of blah blah blah. Where are we? Admitted again. So what can we do here then? Following admission, I know I said I wasn't going to rewrite it, but well. So following admission, her blood glucose levels were and were managed with intravenous fluids for intubation. She was discharged and she was prescribed blah 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 blah. Okay. Today's visit reported she's doing well, non-compliant as well as. So now I have to go in a minute, so let's just try and get this. So first things first, right? Get the DOB, get the age, right? Get the purpose as clear as possible. What do you want? You want me to manage, assess. Okay, get that clear. For this one here, group-like information, right? Put all the history, paragraph 2. Then you, instead of saying multiple episodes, diagnosis of diabetic, repeat, you don't have to. You can do it like that, and was admitted again with another episode, blah blah blah. Following admission, glucose was blah 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 on today's visit. Non-compliant as well as, so instead of having 2 short sentences, join the sentences, right? Grouping like information, as well as not following recommended diet, made aware about the complications of and further management of her condition was discussed, again to avoid repetition, diabetes, diabetic, blah blah blah. View the above, you can appreciate at the bottom, etc. So, quite a few things there. Yeah, I'll just scroll down so you can see them. And that's how I personally would approach this. And I think that makes it clearer as to what is going on. Okay, so hope that helps. I haven't got time to do any more videos for today. What I'll probably do is do another one tomorrow on Wednesday, maybe one on Thursday, again, in between the students, of which there's one coming pretty soon. So anyway, I hope that helps. Hope you can see how you can organize your information, avoid too long, join the sentences, avoid tautology, repetition, and make it cleaner, more concise and easier to read. So hope that helps. I'll put my italki link if you need any personal advice. You can get in touch, and the Telegram group OET Right Now link at the bottom if you're watching this on YouTube. So hope that helps. Catch you later.